Real Estate Talk on Smart Talk 1580.
And good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dave Pautsch of RE/MAX Integrity. This is Real Estate Talk on KGAL. We're live this Saturday morning, broadcasting from the Albany studios of KGAL, K-Show Radio at the Old Library Building, the home of Silver Falls Dermatology. We're going to start the show today giving you an opportunity to have a taste on us. That is a $10 Quiznos gift card to the first person this hour to email dave@kgal.com and mention Taste on Us. Again, a $10 Quiznos gift certificate for the Albany Quiznos store. Okay, today we're going to do some listener questions. I've been kind of saving them up. I've got questions regarding short sales. We're going to talk about negotiation strategies, new word for me today. And we're going to revisit the issue of, do I need an agent and dual agency? Kind of a unique situation. Should be kind of fun to talk about. And before we jump into all that, I want to do today's real estate showcase. I have 3 homes in the showcase today, and they are 3 widely different kinds of homes, 3 different price ranges, 3 different areas, and I would like to share them with you today. The first one is located at 736 South Nebergall Loop Northeast. That is in North Albany. It's actually in Benton County. It is a total remodel home. This is a flip. It was taken from, well, folks, if you've ever seen an episode of Hoarders, that was the starting point for this flip. And it was completely renovated inside and out, top to bottom, new roof, new carpets, new paint inside and out, moved a couple of walls around inside to create a nice, bigger dining room area and to make the steps more navigable. All the bedrooms have been redone. It's a 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath home, 1,928 square feet. Sits on a big corner lot, 0.3-acre lot. And again, extreme home makeover. Beautifully remodeled, new kitchen. And that's really, I think, one of the wonderful selling points of this particular home is the kitchen. Cherry finished cabinetry, granite countertops, stainless steel appliances, stainless steel sink, tile floor. It's absolutely beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. It is in the floodplain, just so you know, and the owner is going to pay the first year of your flood insurance premium. It's on well and septic. Again, it's located at 736 South Nebergall Loop Northeast in North Albany, and the list price is $245,000. That is a lot of house and a lot of update for the money. Kind of on the other end of the spectrum, if you're looking in Southwest Albany for a perfect little starter home. This is a cute 2-bedroom bungalow. It is absolutely perfect for the first-time buyer or somebody looking to take advantage of the investment opportunities in real estate today. This would make a great little rental. Excellent neighborhood. It's close to some great schools. New roof in 2010. Also has updated vinyl windows. Big yard. It's got alley access and a carport in the back. Again, a cute little 2-bedroom, 1-bath home, 960 square feet, located at 1239 Elm Street Southwest. And the list price is $99,900. So again, great opportunity for a first-time buyer looking to take advantage of the interest rates or for a potential investor. My third showcase home is located in Lebanon at 495 West Ash Street. 3 bedrooms, 2-bath, 1,410 square feet. Very nice yard, really big yard, 0.16 acres, fully fenced. There is, I guess it's just about a foot short of a regulation horseshoe pitch there. But this home inside, absolutely immaculate, updated, and upgraded. The home is a gem in all respects, and all updates were done since 2010, and they include tile marble counters. It's got an open kitchen, new cabinetry, new oak cabinetry, spring-loaded hinges on all the doors in the cabinetry. Really nice, exceptional energy efficiency. It's got a heat pump. It's got low-flow water fixtures, vinyl windows, high-quality carpet. There's a 7-pound pad, a 30-year roof, again, new in 2010. real wood blinds, oiled bronze fixtures to stainless steel appliances, the refrigerator, the dishwasher, the range, and the microwave all stay. It's a comfortable floor plan. It's great for engineering. It's an entertaining, I don't know why I said engineering, great for entertaining. It's in an established Lebanon neighborhood listed at $164,900. 3 opportunities for you regardless of the price range you're looking in. Inventory, as we'll talk about later in the show today, is really low, and all 3 of these homes are very, very nice homes and good buys for the money. So if you're interested in something in one of those categories, you can contact us right here at Real Estate Talk at KGAL.com. If you have a question, we're going to do listener questions today. Send it in via email. You can do that at realestatetalk@kgal.com, or you can go to our Facebook fan page, which is facebook.com/Real Estate Talk on KGAL. I'm going to ask you a favor. If you are not, have not liked the Facebook fan page for the Real Estate Talk, I really would love you to do that. I was just listening to Kim Commando prior to this, to going on the air, and she was talking about the views that you get. It's only about 20% with your business page. And I have a lot of information that I really hope is useful to you and that is worth sharing. The more of you that like the Facebook fan page, the bigger spread that information gets, and I post market statistics there. I post interesting articles when we come across them. I talk about the lineup for the show, the listener questions we're going to discuss. It's an opportunity for you to post your questions there as well. So if you are on Facebook at all, please, I'm asking as a personal favor to me, if you could find the Real Estate Talk fan page. And again, it's just Real Estate Talk on KGAL. Just search Real Estate Talk in the bar, and we will come up, I promise. And like the page. Use it as a resource, and I would just so much appreciate your doing that. So I'd consider that a personal favor. You can also find information about Real Estate Talk. Go to KGAL.com. Click on the link for Real Estate Talk. Adam has been doing a great job keeping the market update information there on the KGAL page. We've also been posting audio from the show each week. If you are not currently working with a real estate professional and you would like to have a market analysis done on a property, and that's whether you're looking to buy that property or sell that property, send me an email with the address and I'll provide you with a market analysis, and I will do that at absolutely zero obligation or cost. Free market analysis, no harm, no foul. I just want you to have the information. Certainly, I would like to be on your team, and if you want an agent that's 100% on your side, that's me. I'm committed to working with only one client in any real estate negotiation. I do not practice dual agency, and I think that's an important component of my business moving forward, and I think that's important to my clients. So if that's interesting to you, if you think that's what your agent should offer to you, give me a call or send me an email today. And finally, this segment, if you are starting the home buying process, last weekend I had the opportunity again to teach at Willamette Neighborhood Housing Services. That's www.w-nhs.org. That's O-R-G. Take that class. It is an 8-hour class. It helps you qualify for certain lending, down payment assistance programs. But beyond that, it is just really good information for you to get started in the process of buying a home. It will provide you with confidence. It will provide you with information. It will provide you with frameworks with which you can make good decisions. Now, if you're a listener to this show, if you are within the sound of my voice, and you want to go to that class, as long as you're not working with another real estate agent, and you do not have to commit to work with me, but I just don't want you committed to somebody else at this point, sign up, take the class. Send me an email at realestatetalk@kgal.com. Let me know the date you're signing up for. And when you attend the class, I will pay the course fee, the $45 course fee for you. That is my commitment to Willamette Neighborhood Housing Services and my commitment to you as my listeners. So, with that being said, let's take a break. And when we come back, we're going to do some listener questions. I'm Dave Pautsch of RE/MAX Integrity, and this is Real Estate Talk.
Beyond the Beltway with Bruce Dumont, Sunday afternoons on News Talk 1580 KGAL.
Well, I'm not quite sure what's going on. Looks like we lost our commercials there, and we got the big guy voice up. So I'm going to jump back in and start talking again. Welcome back to Real Estate Talk. I'm Dave Pautsch of RE/MAX Integrity. Real Estate Talk is your only resource on local radio for real estate information right here in Oregon's Mid-Willamette Valley. We are always here for you on Saturday mornings. We get a couple of Thursdays a month in the Valley Talk time slot. But regardless, if you've missed a show, if you are looking for information about real estate market trends, you can go to the website, www.kgal.com. Click on the link for Real Estate Talk, and you'll find past shows there. You'll find real estate market statistics go all the way back 6 years ago to January 2007 when we first started this little silly adventure. Some of the more recent audios may be missing, but I know, again, Adam from Sandy M Communications has been doing a fantastic job, and those audios are also available at the Facebook fan page. So today, as I said, I have a few listener questions to go over with you, and listener questions are probably my favorite shows because it gives me the rare opportunity to give you the information that you're asking for. So please keep those questions coming. I have a lot of avenues, I think, that you can get the questions to me. Keep them coming in because I love answering them. My first question is from P in Albany. P writes, I'm just trying to start a short sale with Bank of America. It's frustrating from the start. They want to review me for a loan modification first, and they're asking for a lot of personal financial information. I don't understand why they need it. What should I do? Okay, for the record, in the background, this listener provided me with some additional information about her situation. I'm not going to go into that here on the show, but just as a quick summary, hasn't been able to make the payments on the home. I'm not going to talk about the reasons why. It's not important. She won't be able to make the payments on the home in the future. Okay? So the loan modification, her frustration is that the loan modification process seems ridiculous because it just won't work from her end. So here's the answer. First of all, let me say I truly am so very sorry for the situation that you're in. Dealing with short sales or foreclosures, it's really stressful. And putting that on top of the other things that are going on in your life, I'm just honestly, very sincerely sorry that you're in the situation that you're in. But to the question. The fact that the lender wants you to pursue eligibility for options short of foreclosure or short sale is actually legislatively driven. It is driven by the law. It is driven by the requirements that are placed on the lenders as a result of the revisions after the financial crisis. There were too many cases where people were getting squeezed between two different branches of a financial institution. One was telling them to stop making their payments, work on a loan modification. We can't work on a loan modification unless you stop making your payments. And then there was another arm of the lending institution that would say, hey, they missed a payment. We're starting foreclosure processing. And there were people who lost their homes, who totally got raked over the coals. Absolutely horrible situations. So now they've made some changes and they are forced to work together to put you through the process. So once you start that, they hold off on the foreclosure processing and they have to do it kind of this way now. So beyond the control even of the lenders, really. In theory, one would think that pursuing all those options short of foreclosure or short sale would be beneficial to the homeowners. And the assumption is that most of these homeowners would like to stay in the home. And by and large, that's probably a true statement, but it's not a 100% solution. There are situations like this particular listener who that's not the right situation for them. Unfortunately, I think it's impossible to create a set of rules or laws that are going to provide the best situation for 100% of the population. They've got to do the best they can for the most people. So, unfortunately, you're in the percentage that has to take these extra steps that seem ridiculous to you. And I would agree, they probably are. There's got to be a way to inject some common sense into the system, but the more you open the door for common sense, apparently the more you open the door for unintended negative consequences. So now, The process is different for different types of borrowers. FHA loans are processed differently than conventional loans, and VA loans have their own twists and turns as well when you're involved in this process. Now, in this particular instance, P, you have an FHA loan, so it can't be initiated directly through the Equator system, and you have to work through that loan modification process, even though we know you're not going to qualify and you don't want a loan modification. So you're going to have to work through that, unfortunately. On to the second part of your question. Why in the heck do they need all that financial information? Well, in summary, listeners, when you do a short sale, the lender is going to write off the debt. They're going to write off, in some cases, tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they kind of have a right to verify that you don't have the capacity to cover the difference. The process is made this way in order to prevent people who may commit fraud. In fact, you legitimately owe them the money that was borrowed. There's a contract. The circumstances that put you in this situation, not really the bank's fault. Now, they, as a result, have a right to verify that their decision to write off the difference, to allow you to sell short, is ultimately fair to them. Now, banks are going to lean more toward short sales than they will toward foreclosure because it's a better process for them. They typically are going to get a little bit more money for the home, and it's a less expensive process than the foreclosure process, which has gotten very expensive, especially here in Oregon, potentially nationwide. Now, I know many of us have negative opinions of the banks, and there's a lot of blame placed on the banks for causing the financial crisis. I'm not wading into that swamp here, not the purpose of this conversation. But from a philosophical point of view, it is a legitimate debt when you sign the mortgage paperwork, which you signed in good faith when you started the mortgage. So it's not unfair for them to make sure that you don't have a hidden stash of lottery winnings or some inheritance fund or some other financial ability with which you could pay your legal debt. So that is the bank's justification. In Oregon, if you are short selling your primary residence, the lenders are not going to be able to come after you for the difference if they approve a short sale. I don't believe that's true in every state, but it is true in Oregon. And there's another side note here, and it has to do with the window being open for fraud. And this is not by the banks. This is by the homeowners. And again, I am certainly not accusing this particular listener who asked the question. Absolutely not. I'm just stating kind of why the rules are the way the rules are. People perpetrate fraud on the bank, and the bank's justified in doing their due diligence, and because there really is the potential for fraud. Now, I saw the other day a story that's going around the internet, and it was a piece of political propaganda at its heart, but I don't know if the underlying story is true. I think it probably isn't, but it is a good example for the purposes of this conversation. So the story is about two homeowners. They were sisters in, I believe, the Chicago area. They each had purchased homes. Those homes both were underwater. They both tried to sell them and ultimately ended up in a short sale. Now, the value of the homes, they were able to sell their homes for somewhere around 20 or 30% of the value that they bought them for. Okay, the market had deteriorated that much. So instead of $100,000, they were sold for in the vicinity of $30,000. So again, two sisters both had the same situation. Well, according to this internet story, they purchased each other's homes. Well, on the face of it, that is fraud, and it's against the law. You're supposed to be doing an arm's length transaction. There are rules to prevent that. And again, this is another one of the reasons why I don't know that the story's true. But they said in the story, well, because they had different names and they were willing to lie on the affidavits, nobody knew the difference. So they each purchased each other's home, and then they rented the house they just purchased back to the other sister, so nobody even had to move. And again, don't know if it's a true story, haven't checked it out on Snopes, but certainly without due diligence on the part of the bank, opportunities, there are people out there who certainly would take advantage of an opportunity like that. Look at somebody who says, I'm upside down on my home because the market value went down. I short sell, but it's my Uncle Timmy who buys my house, and he buys it for a big discount off the current market, and then I buy it from Uncle Timmy on contract. So Uncle Timmy makes out because he's making money. I'm paying him. I'm now back in my house, which I now own, having had the bank write off $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 of my debt. And I don't have to move because I'm buying the house back from Uncle Timmy at a new mortgage payment that is well below what I was paying before. So everybody wins except the bank. So anyway, all I'm trying to do is saying there is a justification, certainly on the part of the banks, to do their due diligence. A few other notes about short sales in general before I move on. First of all, if you are in a situation where you are considering a short sale, please seek out experts and professionals to consult with. There may be tax consequences if it is not your primary residence. Your real estate agent does not have the expertise to fully explain tax consequences to you. We are not accountants. We are not lawyers. We are real estate professionals. You may need to consult with an attorney or an accountant before making that decision. Secondly, I was talking about the opportunity for homeowners to perpetrate fraud, and it's certainly there. But as a homeowner, be wary of other people who are trying to perpetrate a scam on you. There are people out there looking for ways to take advantage of homeowners in trouble. There are a number of scams that have been run. We've talked about them before on the show. Bottom line, if anybody is asking you for money up front to help you with a short sale or foreclosure, they're acting outside the law. If anyone guarantees that you can get your short sale done, they're probably not legitimate, and at a minimum, they're mistaken. Third, short sales, almost by definition, are going to sell below market price. They may be initially listed at market price, but the eventual sale price is going to reflect the risk to the buyer of waiting for the approval from the lender or lenders. As a homeowner, especially one who has taken pride of ownership in their home, that is sometimes a very hard pill to swallow, but it's something that you really should be prepared for at the end of the day. So short sales and foreclosure, difficult process, and the bottom line is get professional help. If you're looking for a real estate professional to help you with short sales, I strongly recommend you find someone who has experience doing short sales. That list is much larger today than it was 3 or 4 years ago, but there are now people who actually specialize in doing short sales, and in some part, it might be smart to consult with them. They've got processes and procedures, and they know the systems, and they know how to make the system work for you. Okay, that's all I'm going to say about short sales and foreclosures. We're going to take another break, see if the commercials run. I'm Dave Pautsch of RE/MAX Integrity. This is Real Estate Talk. We're doing listener questions today.
If it happens overnight, Eric and Gary have it live during Red Eye Radio on Smart Talk 1580 KGAL.
Okay, welcome back to Real Estate Talk. I'm still Dave Pautsch of RE/MAX Integrity. I just called the station to let them know that for whatever reason, the commercials are not firing. I apologize for the dead air time. Not to say that I needed it, because I'm going to run out of things to say, because that's about 12 minutes of commercials that we're not going to get if that keeps up. Anyway, today we're doing listener questions. That's our theme for the day. My next question comes from A in Albany. A writes, Dave, I found a house I want to make an offer on. It's only been on the market for a couple of days, and I really need the seller to help pay my closing costs. But I'm worried there's no room for negotiations because it's such a new listing. Any suggestions? Well, A, you are kind of in an it depends sort of a situation. It depends on a lot of things. First of all, is the price of the house that you want to make an offer on consistent with the market? Is it a good market price? Is it overpriced? Is it underpriced? Because that's going to help down the line with figuring some things out. The second, it depends. Are there any other offers in play? If not, then you have an opportunity to negotiate. And that's kind of goes back to, is the house well priced? Because if the house is well priced, it's very likely that other buyers, depending on the price category you're looking in, may be interested in it too. So you may have that competition up front. Here's the difference. Typically in a vacuum, with no other offers in the mix, buyers do not generally write offers that they do not expect to be countered. So, that being the case, write an offer that you expect the seller will counter back. That is less than what you really want, that gives the room for the seller to counter back with exactly what you want. For example, ask for a discount in price as well as those closing costs that are important to you. When your agent sends the offer over, let them know that closing costs are an important part of your offer, that you can't do it without. Then, the rest of your offer, try to identify those components that you can trade off, things that are not important to you that may be important to the seller that you can give to them. Closing date, title company, inspection contingency limitations, a large earnest money to show that you're serious, solid documentation of your qualification to purchase, those types of things. Now, before I move on too much further, let me qualify that comment regarding inspection contingency limitations. I am not suggesting, and I would not recommend, that you waive inspections unless you yourself are a contractor and you're buying cash. Okay? I'm just saying merely maybe make sure that the seller knows that you are willing to limit any repair requests to those that are going to be lender related. If they know in their own mind that the house is in good order, that may mean to them, gee, I don't have to worry about doing any repairs. It reduces their risk as sellers that you're going to come back to them and nickel-dime them about a lot of the little things. If you commit to them that, hey, we're just going to ask for any repairs that are going to be lender-oriented, it is a trade-off that it may make your offer a little more palatable to them. Now, one other strategy is to try, and this may be in the counteroffer, but is to try and roll those closing costs into the purchase price. In other words, I'm going to use some round numbers here. If the property is listed at $150,000 and you need $5,000 in seller concessions on the closing costs, well, you could offer $155,000 with $5,000 in closing costs being paid by the seller. Now, there's some ifs there. Whether or not your lender is going to buy off on that is one question, and it's better asked of your loan officer. Some loan programs will, others will not allow that. Some of the challenges are going to center around whether or not it was ever listed at that higher price, or more importantly, will it appraise at that higher price? If you roll those closing costs in, you may be able to successfully get into contract in the home, only to be at risk when the appraisal comes in low. So they're going to come back and say, look, if we have to reduce the purchase price, we're taking away some or all of those closing costs, which may result in you having to kill the deal. So talk this over with both your lender and your real estate agent. Make sure that you have that market analysis done up front so you know what the potential values are and what the right price is. Now, the other side of this coin, if there are other offers in play, completely different negotiating strategy. You are no longer writing an offer that you expect to have countered. You are now putting forth your highest and best offer. Ultimately, you may be limited. You may not be able to compete if you need those closing costs to be paid. Your alternative, again, is to try to roll those costs into the purchase price, assume that you're qualified for the larger purchase price now, and that those issues that we just talked about are also in play. I guess not going to change whether or not there are other offers in play. It's just the offer that you're going to write first. The fact is, if this is a really good deal and there are other buyers who recognize that it's a good deal, ultimately, you can only do what you can do. And the best strategy, again, is to focus on those things that are important to you, which obviously are price and closing costs, and then try to trade off those things that are likely important to the seller. The more information you can get about the seller, talk to their agent, have your agent talk to their agent, actually, to find out what's important. What closing date do they want? I know there are a lot of agents out there when it comes to title and escrow company. We all have our favorites. Let the seller have their favorite. Make it easy on them. They may have a rationale for it. Give up as many of those things and clearly state that you're giving them up, or make it clear at least to the other side that you're trading this off in exchange for those things that are important to you. Okay, my next question comes from C in Lebanon. I want to sell my house, and one of my friends referred me to their agent. Well, my friend is looking for a place too. They've been working with the same agent for quite a few months. They wrote an offer on a short sale. See, we're back to short sales again. But the bank hasn't gotten an approval yet, and it's been almost 2 months. Now, my friend wants to quit on that one and buy mine. Do we need to include that agent that he's been working with? Well, that's an interesting twist of events. The answer, no. You don't have to. You may want to if it proves to be worthwhile and cost-effective for you and your friend. Here's how I'd look at it. The first question I'd ask is, when you say that your friend referred their agent to you, can I assume that everybody likes this agent, that they're a good agent, that they're professional, that everybody trusts them? First question. Secondly, did they provide you with a market analysis or evaluation of your property? If so, here's a question. Was it an independent of knowing that their buyer may want to purchase it? I don't want to offend anybody, but I would just say, that could slip in there. If they knew their buyer may want to buy this house, you just have to make sure that it is a fair and valid market analysis. Most agents, 100% reputable, would give you the exact right numbers. But again, it's something you want to consider. Thirdly, what is your personal experience in buying and selling real estate? Do you understand the real estate process? Do you know how to protect yourself in any contract that you write? Remember, the agent is going to bring with them the Oregon Real Estate Agency Forms contract, which is reviewed by lawyers, has tons of clauses that are just built into it that protect the buyer, that protect the seller. If you don't use that form, and it's not a required form unless you're a real estate agent, you can get a form from the internet if you like, but does it adequately protect your interests, and are you experienced enough, knowledgeable enough to put those contractual contingencies, obligations, escape clauses, etc. in there? Along those same lines, what's the knowledge level of your friend? Do they know as much as you, not as much as you? Is it going to be a case of the blind leading the blind, or is it going to be a case where the information level, the knowledge level is so out of balance that at some point, if something were to go wrong, that somebody would feel as if they were being taken advantage of? So again, I'm throwing it out there merely for your consideration, not that it's going to happen. Assuming that you 100% trust your friend and they 100% trust you, yeah, you can probably come to an agreement and navigate the transaction without an agent. I would recommend, however, that as a minimum, you consult with an attorney to do that. And frankly, you're going to pay the attorney for their services as well. Now, there is a different... Okay, I'm going to add a personal perspective here. That agent, how much time have they put in with your friend in helping them make that previous offer? Well, if you cut them out of this transaction, they're left out in the cold. And we as real estate agents only get paid when the deals that we're working on close, when our clients are satisfied and have received their property or gotten rid of their property. Now, to some extent, it happens to all of us in this business, and as a real estate professional, sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles. But it's a hard pill to swallow from that agent's perspective, which is why I asked at the very beginning of this, did you like the agent? Were they doing a good job for the buyer? Were they professional? Did you count on them? Because that agent may have spent hours showing houses, writing offers, doing paperwork, making sure the file was correct, bringing in their real estate partners, their inspectors, and other strategic partners that they work with, escrow officers. A lot of people have invested time in this, and ultimately they're not going to get paid for it. They're out money, but they also may have their feelings hurt. And yes, friends, real estate agents do have feelings. So as I said, sometimes It's just part of the business, and that's the way the cookie crumbles. So the question to ask then is, can that agent provide any value to your transaction between you and your friend to an amount that is equal to what they are willing to be paid? Commissions are a negotiable component. Okay, there are numbers that are constantly thrown out as, well, let's say this percent commission. They are negotiable numbers, and there's a lot of ways that you could potentially look at the situation that you're dealing with here. Somebody could make an argument as an agent, I'll represent both you and your friend, and you pay me the full commission, whatever that commission is that you negotiate. Other agents, because other agents like me who do not represent two parties, might make the argument that, hey, I've already been representing your friend. Let me continue to represent them. I'll manage the transaction. I'll make sure that everything is done under the requirements of the law and the Oregon agency standard to deal honestly and in good faith, and to take care of the monies correctly, and to make sure everything works, and to keep all the boxes checked and move down the pipeline. But I'll just represent the buyer here, and you as the seller will be unrepresented. But because you're friends, because that agent is professional, everybody's going to be dealt with fairly, and they very well may be worth a one-side commission, which they were earning on the other deal anyway. So you as the seller would then pay that commission out of your proceeds at sale. See what you can negotiate, if there's any value in it for you or for your friend. You know, believe it or not, many agents, over the course of showing people 10s and 15 and 20 or more houses, actually develop pretty strong personal bonds with their clients. I've made a lot of friends in the time that I've been in real estate working with people. The buyer actually may be willing to include them in the transaction and add the commission for their representation to the purchase price. Say they were willing to pay $200 for the property, but they want their agent, so maybe they'll pay $210 or $207 or some other number. Excuse me, I had a little cough there. So lots of ways to potentially skin that cat. The bottom line is you've got to work it out in a way which provides value to you, and there's lots of questions to ask. Great question. Thank you for asking it. Okay, we're going to give this whole break thing one more shot. I'm Dave Pautsch of RE/MAX Integrity. This is Real Estate Talk on KGAL.
Home improvement will never be the same once you've heard The Money Pit. Saturday mornings on Smart Talk 1580.
Okay, well, it looks like no commercials are running today, so I'm sure they will get run later on. They'll figure out what the technical difficulty is, but I don't want you to endure dead air. So I'm going to take a minute to add some things to my my schedule here to talk about that I don't normally talk about. So let me take a few quick minutes to acknowledge some listener birthdays. How about that? I know there's one longtime listener, and her husband, I think he's also a longtime listener, celebrated a birthday earlier this week. So Dan, happy birthday to you, and greetings to your lovely wife, Grace. I send out a postcard every month to my clients that what I consider kind of my A-list, people that refer business to me and that I have a great relationship with. And it's so sweet that every time this particular couple uses one of the little things that I send out, she always sends me an email thanking me. For February, Valentine's Day, it was a truffle from Burst Candy. And so I got an email from her last night, and that's how I happened to notice that her husband's birthday was earlier this week. Last week, my guest was Kevin Simran. Kevin is the president of RE/MAX Integrity, our broker owner. He was here last week giving his State of the Union address, telling us about the real estate market in 2012 and what we're looking forward to in 2013. Well, Kevin had a birthday this week, so happy birthday to Kevin. Apparently, it's his last birthday in his 40s. So, yeah, see how long you can lie about that. You do it. You're in your early 40s until 46. You're in your middle 40s until you're 49, and then you're in your late 40s just 1 year. That's kind of the way I did it. Also, Mike B. Mike's a former client and a good friend, and Mike had a birthday this week. So one more other social event I want to talk about. We'll spend just a few minutes talking about this. Today At St. Mary's Catholic Church in Albany, we are having the second annual I Heart St. Mary's International Food Festival. That is today, starting at noon and running until about, I think, 4 p.m. So I was looking at the menu. It's posted online on Facebook, and there is going to be representatives from around the world. There's going to be Filipino food. There's going to be Hawaiian food. There's going to be Czech, German, Polish, Mexican food, Irish food. I didn't even really know there was Irish food, but apparently there is. Norwegian, American, there's going to be Tex-Mex, there's going to be a sweet shop, and there's going to be beverages. And here's the way it works. No cost of admission. It's free to attend, and there will be live entertainment from some of the different communities in the parish. You buy tickets for $1. And with those tickets, you go to the different booths and you buy tastes. And the cost of a taste is going to depend from booth to booth and from what you're buying. If you're buying an entree or if you're buying a dessert. But I think the cost for the different items is going to be probably between 1 and 5 tickets, depending. So a great event. We did it last year as part of the I Heart St. Mary's weekend. It was a fabulous success. Lots and lots of people showed up. Lots of really good, yummy food was enjoyed. And all the proceeds go to benefit St. Mary's School and Parish. And again, I said there's going to be live entertainment from the various communities. And I'm going to be emceeing that entertainment. I'm also going to be eating lots of great food. And I hope to see you there as well. So let's see what else is going on in the world. I'm going to try one more time to see if we can get a break in and run some commercials. Keep your fingers crossed. If there's a little bit of dead air, I apologize. But then we'll come back and we'll do the real estate market update. I'm Dave Pautsch of RE/MAX Integrity, and this, my friends, is Real Estate Talk.
Science and Common Sense. Dr. Bill Wattenberg will surprise you Sunday nights live on Smart Talk 1580.
And it looks like there's no commercials yet again. So I apologize. I'm not going to say that I'm running out of things to talk about because, frankly, ladies and gentlemen, that's just not what I do. Well, let me tell you a little bit about what I was doing earlier this week. And I talked about it a couple of weeks ago. We were going to be at the Lynn County Board of Property Tax Appeals, and I have the privilege to have the opportunity to sit on the board of Lynn County, of property tax appeals for Lynn County. It's an appointed position. It's a volunteer position. And we have, I think, a total of 91 petitions this year of people who are coming to appeal their property taxes. And I talked a little bit in length a couple of weeks ago about that process. But over the last 2 days, I was in the basement of the Lynn County Courthouse actually working with the rest of the board, and there are 3 of us on the panel at any time, actually meeting with petitioners, talking to them about what their situation was, and making decisions on do we reduce the real market value of their property and what the impact is on their taxes. So just absolutely a very rewarding thing to do. But I want to take a minute to really offer my praise of the Lynn County Assessor's Office, who stands in support of that whole process. We had 91 petitions, and there were probably a lot more people who petitioned than the 91 who are going to be coming before the board over the next, through the end of next week. We have meetings. Because the county assessor's office does really, I think, a phenomenal job in working with those people and meeting with them and explaining the system to them and how it works. In some cases, absolutely creating no need for them to come before the board because they're getting satisfaction at the counter at the assessor's office. They're looking for the right answer, and that has been what has so consistently impressed me between Andy and Matt and Natalie, who are the assessors that we've dealt with so far in this year's process. They really do look for what is the right answer. If you are considering appealing your taxes, your property taxes now I'm talking about, it's a very specific process. It starts after the tax bills come out in the fall. You have to have your petition in by midnight on the 31st of December, and then they're reviewed. There's a couple of key things that you really have to understand, and the bottom line one is the burden of proof is on you as the taxpayer to show why that real market value is wrong. Just submitting a petition saying, I think my taxes are too high, is not going to provide any evidence. What you need to do, contact a real estate professional. You don't have to pay for an appraisal. An appraisal is a great piece of information, and it's very helpful, okay? But you don't have to pay for an appraisal. You can get a real estate professional to do a market analysis for you. Have them do that analysis around the time frame of the assessment of your property. So for 2013 tax year, the taxes that you will pay in November, the assessment date was January 1st, 2012. Okay, so it goes back a year. So you have to pay attention to that. And when you ask your realtor to do that market analysis, those are the dates that they should be focusing on. And they can do that within the multiple listing service. They can look at closed sales that are similar to your property and then adjust. And you want to look at the valuation of those properties and how it impacts the market value of your property. The biggest mistake that many of our petitioners make is believing that the price that they purchased it for establishes a real market value, when in fact it really doesn't. The price that you purchase it for, if it's a short sale, if it's a foreclosure, is typically being representative of a price that is well below the market. The other thing that often comes into play is the physical condition of the property on that date. And that's actually a legitimate thing that you can put in your petition. Provide information and documentation of the deteriorated material condition so that we can say, okay, well, your house should have been worth $140,000, but it had about $20,000 in damage that you've documented on the date of the assessment, so maybe we can adjust that valuation for you. Good strategies, but the burden of proof is on you as the taxpayer to bring that in. And that's probably the biggest mistake that we've seen, not mistake, the biggest challenge that we've had so far with the taxpayers that are coming in. So I strongly urge you, if you need more information, give us a call here. Or send us an email at realestatetalk@kgal.com. Okay, we've tried to take all our breaks. I've done my best, and now we're going to jump into the market update and finish up for the day. We'll begin in Corvallis, where inventory is up 10 from our previous report, today at 112 active listings, with an average asking price of $356,886. With 92 homes sold in the past 90 days, that is down 4 from the last update, there is currently 3.65 months of inventory available. The median sold price in Corvallis over the last 3 months is up, today at $246,363, averaging $158.55 per square foot. And on average, these homes spend 111 days on the market from listing to close of sale. In Lebanon, there are 72 homes available for sale. That's up 4 from last update. The median asking price is down a fraction, today at $158,750. Over the past 90 days, 43 homes have sold. That's down 3. And the median sold price is up, today at $123,000. At $93.73 per square foot, and that is an upward move, my friends. Homes are spending an average of 155 days on the market. Currently, 5.02 months of inventory is available today in Lebanon. Finally, shifting to Albany, where inventory is down 11 from last week. Today, 187 active residential listings. That, to me, is a stunning number. I'm used to seeing that number in the upper 300 and 400 range. I was saying the inventory was low earlier this year when it was down in the 270, 240 range. It's now at 187 active listings in Albany. The average asking price is up $206,670, just as you might expect. 129 homes have sold in the last 90 days. That's down just 2. The median sale price is flat at $161,129, and homes are spending an average of 142 days on the market from listing to close of sale. Remember, we are going back to November with our numbers now, so some of these numbers, and if you're seeing some of the fall off in the sales numbers, that is representative more in all 3 of our markets by the Thanksgiving and Christmas period skew that is in the numbers, and some of the buyer numbers are down, but Inventory is still way down. You're starting to see asking prices creep up just a bit. The average dollar per square foot value in Albany is $102.42, and there is today 4.35 months of inventory available. And that is the market update for the 16th day of February 2013. I want to talk one other thing, and I'm going to pull it off the Facebook fan page here, see if I can do that. I want to talk about inventory again by price range, months of inventory by price range. And right now, if you go to the Facebook fan page and pull up the graphic that I posted this morning, nothing in Lebanon in the last 3 months has sold above $200,000. 56 active listings, 43 sales in the last 90 days, under $200,000. Above $200,000, it looks like 19 listings and 0 sales. So if you are selling your home in Lebanon and you are above $200,000, you are in fairly thin air, okay? In Albany, it's really a difficult challenge to be selling if you are above $300,000. It's a little hard above $250,000 with over 8 months of inventory, but under that $250,000 threshold at $249,900 and below, really some wonderful opportunities. Less than 5.6 months of inventory there, and 3.5 months of inventory under 200, and 3.25 under 150. So 187 active, 129 sold, total 4.35 months of inventory, but that is really, really dependent on price ranges. Corvallis, finally there's an active listing under 150, so that's a very, very tough market. It's really amazing, the inventory in Corvallis right now, how quickly things are moving, even over the holiday period. So understanding the numbers, getting an idea where the numbers are, I think it's clear that the bottom is in our rearview mirror as interest rates remain low. Opportunities are out there for both buyers and sellers in the market moving forward. If you are thinking about buying a home, again, I remind you, Willamette Neighborhood Housing Services is a great place to start. Get educated, get smart, and if you want to take that class, my faithful radio listeners, as long as you are not committed to another real estate agent, I'll pay the tuition for you. I think it's just that important for you to get that good start. You'll find us here every Saturday morning. Sometimes we have commercials and sometimes we don't, like today, but we're always talking about real estate. We're trying to find the issues that are important to you. Send us your questions. Send it by email to realestatetalk@kgal.com. Post it on the Facebook fan page, facebook.com/Real Estate Talk on KGAL. We are here trying to provide the information that you want every Saturday morning. I am Dave Pautsch of RE/MAX Integrity and the principal broker for the foundation team. This is 1580 KGAL, Lebanon, Albany, and Corvallis. Have a great weekend.
Locally owned and operated, this is the very independent News Talk 1580 KGAL, Lebanon, Albany, Corvallis.